Well, there's mounting pressure on the Queensland government to address the state's terrifying youth crime crisis. It comes after 3 women were killed and another critically injured north of Brisbane, allegedly at the hands of a teen driving a stolen car. Criminologist and former detective Terry Goldsworthy joins us from the Gold Coast. Good morning to you. More lives lost, families ripped apart. When is this going to end?
Well, I think this will end when the government takes action that actually will have some kind of impact in relation to these core offenders that we see causing the youth crime epidemic that we have in Queensland. What we've seen so far over the last 2 years is a number of reform packages that have had little to no impact on these offenders, so it's time for the government to get serious about this.
We've spoken before. You've said it's the worst that you've seen it in Queensland, but it's not getting any better.
No, it's not. I mean, we see that crime in Queensland has gone up 7%, property crime has risen by 12%, and the rate of personal crime has gone up a staggering 45% in the last 12-month period. And on the other side of that, it's really confusing here in Queensland. We've got this massive crime problem, people being killed almost every weekend, every day, and yet on the other side we've got a government who has now decriminalised ice, cocaine and heroin, and we know that these young offenders, 80% of them have used a substance, legal substance, and 38% of them have used ice. So we're sending out conflicting messages. We've put up the green light for the drug trade in Queensland. Our crime is out of control, and it seems to me that we've got a government in crisis that doesn't know how to fix this.
Well, speaking of which, there's talk of raising the age of criminal responsibility in Australia from 10 to 14. It's one of the lowest in the world at the moment here in Australia, 10 years of age. What's your view on that?
Look, I think that would be absolute madness. If we raise it to the age of criminal responsibility to 14, the alleged offender on a weekend would walk away scot-free from killing 3 people. I don't think our community is ready for that. In reality, we send very few of our 10 to 13-year-olds to jail. The ABS data told us last year we, I think, put 70 of those children into custody for some form of detention. You know, we're not sending all of our children to jail. It's a misnomer. We have procedures in place that you must show that the child knew what they were doing was seriously wrong. And to give an example, for stolen vehicles in Queensland over 15 years, for 10 to 17-year-olds, only 6% received a custodial sentence. The longest sentence they got was 3 years and the average was 3.5 months. So when the government raises the age, the maximum penalty to 10 years, it is totally irrelevant. We are not sending our children to jail for the maximum penalty. It never happens.
It's at all levels of the law, isn't it? You're a former detective yourself. You must feel for the police right now.
Well, I do. I think the police are quite frustrated. They're trying to do their job and they're kind of hamstrung. I mean, there has been some suggestion made to me that prior to the accident on the weekend, the police were told not to intercept or engage with the stolen vehicle. Now, if that information is true, I mean, I think the Commissioner needs to come out and address, was that the case or wasn't it? I mean, you know, we need to see some kind of ability for the police to deal with these young offenders stealing cars. I mean, because there was no police pursuit of this offender allegedly on the weekend, yet 3 people still died.
Yeah, let's hope something changes, and very quickly. Thanks, Terry. Well, now to the terrifying drama for the Kyrgios family. Nick's mother